Matt, you were mentioning that he got bounced.
Well, you know what happened? When we as the media, John, you have that entrance, that employee entrance on 33rd Street with the green awning.
Go in.
Spike was going in that entrance for the last 20 years. He spends $200,000 a year on seats.
Yeah.
He went in the other night, scanned his ticket. He went into the elevator, and the security guard said, you have to come out of the elevator. You can't come in this way anymore. They wanted Spike to go around the garden out to this VIP entrance, which is very nice.
Okay.
Spike said, first of all, if I leave the building, you're not letting me back in because I already have the ticket scanned. And then he had this whole thing with Dolan. Knicks put out a press release because Spike put up a whole big stink about it, right? And so now he says he's not going back. He was putting his hands behind his back. Arrest me! You want to throw me out like like Oakley? And the Knicks put out a statement, said everything Spike said is ridiculous. We look forward to having him back. He says he's not going back until maybe next year.
But he has video of it, so obviously there was some sort of altercation that occurred. I mean, let me tell you something. If you've been doing something for 20-plus years...
He's their mascot.
He is their mascot.
Without a doubt. I know that.
Why would they do something like that unless the security guy was new on the job? I wonder if he still has his job.
No, it was all based on Dolan. And one of the things that I had heard, is that the Knicks are, you know how everybody associates Spike Lee as the most famous Knick fan, most loyal Knick fan. Well, from what I understand, they wanted to extract Spike out of that position, even though it's a not official position, because the Toronto Raptors now have gone younger. They've got Drake as their guy. And I think, from what I understand, Spike doesn't really resonate with the younger viewers.
So you're saying ageism is playing out on
Suki, never.
Seats?
Never. So that's
the Knicks are looking for a younger mascot.
They want somebody younger. Yes.
What's going to happen to Jack Nicholson?
Would the Lakers ever treat Jack Nicholson this way?
No way.
Not in a million years.
Way.
Not in a million years.
I mean,
isn't he the unofficial mascot?
Yeah, I think he's a lot.
Leo.
I think he's a lot more legendary, Jack Nicholson.
Than
absolutely. Spike Lee. And Spike Lee's a legend in his own right.
In New York, right?
In New York, for sure.
Yeah.
Like you guys. You know what I'm saying?
Legendary.
Legendary. We walk down the streets thinking that to ourselves. Legendary.
Well, when Butch told me that you guys might come in, everybody was all excited because.
Listen, we were thinking about taking over the studio, if that's all right with you.
Well, I know right now that you guys are doing some great work over at Steiner Studios.
Yes.
Brandon Steiner's a great friend
of collectibleexchange.com. And the folks at Steiner letting us use their place, and it's an undisclosed location.
Collectible Exchange with an X.
Yeah, or cxstuff.com.
Please don't show up.
Yeah.
Because people would show up.
Yeah, well, we have an issue.
We're going to welcome that at some time.
We have an issue here because people kind of figure out where we are, and, there's always these whacked out liberal protests going on over at City Hall. So, one day there'll be people dressed up out there as like windmills when they're having like some climate change thing. Another day you got all union workers outside. And then all of a sudden they see me sitting here with my trademark Trump pen, which I use on the Newsmax
would have a heart attack from that pen.
And then they see Newsmax and they see the Trump pen, and all kinds of things happen. And we had a couple of vandals actually who were like hanging signs across the street. Trump sucks. And like they must have been watching.
Of course.
Because they had it placed across the street. There was a dumpster over there. And they were putting a sign, Trump sucks. And it was like right here, over my shoulder. But it was in the shot. So we rip it down, come in tomorrow. There's another one there.
Yeah. But listen, our show, we are actually the total opposite of what you do sometimes. You do politics, you do markets. We do all the other stuff.
Yeah, we sing. Fun stuff.
Not only the fun stuff, but kind of the things that people are talking about. Coronavirus. He didn't want to talk about that. We talk about that. We talk about, the snowstorms that are happening in the Midwest.
Yeah.
Or did it happen?
All the uplifting.
The coronavirus, to me, I've been talking about it on the Newsmax show for weeks now, and it's having a pronounced effect on the market, right? You know what I mean? The market's
and the American psyche.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? It's like the media almost foments this stuff by keep talking about it. I think there's 10 deaths in the U.S.
I don't know for sure, but I mean,
it's about 10 in the U.S. And every day you hear of another county in the New York area, New Jersey.
New Rochelle has more cases of it. I mean, there's a lot.
Keeps popping
there's
up.
a lot to worry
it's
about.
Scary. It's very scary.
I had Dr. Eric Braverman on last week. He's big time doctor, and he said, to be honest with you, it's something to think about. But like 40,000 people died in America last year from the flu.
Right.
Just a regular flu.
But what they do say, the coronavirus is a little bit more virulent, and the death rate is higher if you are immunosuppressed, and if you have lung conditions and things like that. You're elderly, the very young, the very vulnerable. So I mean that's too. But look at how many people there are in New York City. We're like packed in. We're close to each other. Yeah. So if the germaphobe in you exists, the virus then kind of propagates and creates more hysteria.
I love when she says propagates.
Propagates.
Love it. Really she's great with those words. Can I have more tequila?
Maybe the folks at the Garden, maybe they thought Spike was carrying the corona or something like that. Maybe that's why they chucked him.
Yeah. No, listen, that whole thing, it just makes the folks at the Garden look silly, and with all the
But Dolan's had so much beef.
All the disappointment
Barkley,
that they have right now.
Do you think he'd learn his lesson after Barkley?
You would think he'd learn his lesson.
You would think he wouldn't have touched Spike Lee, but I guess
he doesn't. He doesn't learn his lesson, and the fans always revolt. They haven't had a good product there in 20 years. They won one playoff game in 20 years.
Oh my God, I know. And
it
now
just all builds upon each other.
There's this rumor floating around that he's thinking about buying the Mets, and I'm a Met fan. Right? That's the last thing we need. I mean, if we can get worse, it's guaranteed. If we bring in
the Wilpons look like George Steinbrenner compared to.
Yeah, oh my God, we don't. This guy is like legendary at destroying franchises. You know what I mean?
But he spends money. But he always, see what happens with the Rangers? He doesn't get involved with the Rangers. He lets them run themselves.
They're doing okay.
He's always involved with the Knicks.
Yep.
And he gets himself in there, and he'll spend the money. The fans have to appreciate that, but it's always on the wrong things.
I think he had made a big mistake with the Charles Oakley thing. I mean, everybody loves the Oak.
You
know what I'm saying?
You're never going to win if you treat a legendary player like that.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
So you guys do your podcast once a week?
Once a week right now. I mean, literally, we only have 4 episodes, so we're kind of new in the game. So we're trying to up it. You have any advice for us?
I don't want to. I don't want to bump out my friend Brandon Steiner, but could I maybe interest you guys and possibly bring your show down here every so
John,
often?
I'm feeling comfortable on this.
We could have a little live audience if you want over there. We might even be able to.
There's a lot of possibilities.
Yeah, and we may even be able to talk our good friend Chucky D into coming down one day for a guest appearance. Staten Island Chuck.
How is he doing? Staten Island
He's
Chuck.
doing great.
You still keep in touch?
Yeah, really good friend of mine, Chuck, and he's over at NBC now. He's on the Today Show with Michael Gargiulo. And he's great guy, colorful character for sure.
Did he ever get married?
He's not married, no.
Johnny, the only thing I would ask is if we do use the studio, maybe a little helicopter, something that can get us in a little quicker. You know what I mean?
No, but this is awesome. This is awesome, and the fact that we haven't seen you since you were on Pix a long time ago.
And this show's
like 2010.
Yeah, like I was gonna say.
Yeah, 2009, 2010. But I've been on Pix 11. Since then, not with you guys, but
that's okay.
just not the same.
Thank you.
I have to tell you, it's just not the same.
Thank you.
So, what do you have in store? When will your next edition come out on the podcast?
We've been coming out every Wednesday night. We shoot on Wednesday mornings. We try to keep it more generic so it lives, for a couple of days after that. So we'll be back on Wednesdays. And the audience, our viewers who loved us at Pix, and the new people who are picking up the show, what they say, John, is that they feel like they're hanging out with 2 pals who were just shooting the shaving cream. Going over,
shooting the shaving cream.
I didn't want to say the other word.
This is the online edition, so I mean we are allowed to have a little more liberty with language, but we try to keep it PG.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's one of those things where we want to make it feel like
home.
We
energy,
feel like home.
Friends, we're hanging out.
Hanging out with your friends. We goof around. We do hit some serious topics, but it's mostly what people. We're just 2 normal people. Raising our kids.
All right, well then you guys can't. It's not going to work here. If you're normal, we're way out.
Well, that's why I need more tequila.
We're not looking for any normalcy here.
Hold on, Suki.
I've met a few people here.
Suki's not drinking her.
You come in for a liquid lunch, you got to partake a little bit,
No, but seriously, I mean, I just think like the way the world is right now, creating your own lane, kind of like what you're doing yourself. You have to create your own content. And I think there's an audience out there that will follow you. If the content is what interests them, they're not going to traditional media sites anymore. We all know that we all live on our phone. That's how we communicate.
No doubt about it.
So Scotty and I have a pretty honest audience who loves us, and we're continuing to grow that audience.
Yeah.
Just like you are in what you're doing with Liquid Lunch.
Yeah, we're trying, and I feel like sometimes, we're on Newsmax every day from 1 to 2. We do the 12 to 1 pregame here online. I feel like we actually get more room to roam,
to breathe
online,
absolutely.
and you're not getting kind of cornered into.
Well, television is a tough game, right? You've got commercials you got to play, you got people you have to deal with, and good or bad, it is what it is. It's a beautiful medium, and we were very successful in it. Not to say that we would never want to do television again, but I think more and more we understand that ourselves, as two people, our content ourselves, by ourselves, meaning him as his content.
Meaning him as the
chapter
guy
1, and I'm chapter 2. If you get what I'm saying.
With your alcohol.
That's good. That's good, John.
We may have started something.
I know.
You
Yeah,
guys
it's gone.
may have to have a cocktail here and there on the.
I have a question for you, and I know we didn't
Rock
want to
and
get
roll it.
political, but I want you to give me 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Can Joe Biden beat Donald Trump in the presidential election? I just want you to give me your thoughts for 30 seconds.
My
on
30
that.
seconds is this. No, the answer is no. And the answer is the establishment even knows that. That Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton, Nancy Pelosi, they've made a decision here, in my view, that they'd rather have Joe Biden run and get beat and sacrifice 4 years than hand over the reins to Bernie Sanders and that revolutionary part of the party. And I think, they're taking one for the team here. And Joe Biden, I don't think he even realizes that, he's the GOAT, he's the scapegoat.
Yeah.
But it looks to me, the way everyone fled, all of a sudden they open that
Everybody
lane.
dropped out. Everybody.
Boom. Let's keep pushing. I call it weekend at Biden's. You know what I'm saying? Remember in Weekend at Bernie's when they have him bouncing around like this? See how energized he is lately? Like the last couple of days, he's out there yelling and screaming. It's like they jolted him. You know what I mean? And he doesn't realize that they're going to just wheel him out there. They're going to put up with Trump for another 4 years, in my view. And then they're looking at 2024, Michelle Obama, there's a whole host of people. But I don't think Joe has a chance, personally. I mean, Donald Trump is he's such an oddity that no one knows how to deal with him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I support his economic policies. I hate his twittering policies.
Yeah.
I hate that he has to double and triple down on everything.
Yep.
But to me, the economy's good. People are doing better. I feel like that, And he's just such an what markets and everything. What do we hate? Uncertainty. You know what I'm saying? And you just never know what he's going to do next. I don't think Biden is qualified to keep up with his nuttiness. So sorry that wasn't 30 seconds.
That was a lot.
I'm sorry.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back. John's got more.
So, welcome to the Scott and Suki show, the Suki and Scott show. I'm John Tobacco, joining them today. So, what do you say maybe before I know you guys got to get somewhere else, and I really appreciate you coming down, gracing us, and what do you say we put our heads together and maybe try to figure out maybe once a month or whenever you guys want, but maybe we'll promote it a little in advance.
Absolutely.
Say you got maybe once a month.
You got a great shop. You got a great team. I was talking to everybody.
We could put our faces in the monitors back here
if you want, for sure. My main man, my right hand man, Frank Morano, just joined us now.
Now you're working with 2 Staten Island guys.
Yeah, that's
Did you ever think about
Frank,
that?
I don't know if you know, but Sukanya, she abandoned us. She's not even a Staten Islander anymore. She's a Westchesterite. So, I mean,
Stay away from the Corona.
it's all right. Nico's holding up a sign. Derek is Skyping in.
Derek,
go to two-shot. See, these
Yeah,
are the
let's go
things
to
you
let's
could
see
do
where
on
he
the
is.
online
Let's see
show.
how he's doing.
All right. We're going to keep, I know that. We're going to keep you guys posted on when we get these two greats right here back in our studio. Scott may never leave, to be honest with you, because we have.
Drink.
This is the most amazing program I've ever been on, ladies and gentlemen. No, this is it's just vodka.
Sukanya Krishnan and Scott Stanford, thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
joining
It's
us.
awesome.
John,
Really
thank you, buddy.
appreciate it.
This was
Thank
great.
You guys, I'm dead serious.
Thanks, John.
Anytime you want to come down
Thank
here,
you.
reach out. It doesn't even have to be a one. Whatever day you want. You come down. We'll promote it a little advance. I'm sure we'll have all autograph seekers outside. I actually put this up today
What
for
do
you
you have?
What do you
guys,
have?
just
No
because you
autographs?
guys were coming.
No
I
autographs?
put this up.
Folks, go away. No, please, go away. Go away, ladies and gentlemen.
That's
I
funny.
knew you guys were coming in, so.
Funny.
Love it.
We're not often getting autograph seekers, but the sign's kind of funny. But
It is.
Guys, I want to thank you very much.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for having
Thanks,
us.
John.
Dead
Appreciate
serious.
it.
The door's always
Yeah.
open. The welcome mat
Thank
is
you.
out.
Thank
If you have
you.
any other ideas, you want to come try it out, come on down anytime.
I'll be in the
Excellent.
corner drinking if you're looking for
Right.
me.
Scott's going to go to the bar. Suki's going to go
Good to
somewhere.
have
She's the brains of the operation anyway, so we'll keep Scott here at the bar so you can be a little more efficient. And we're going to take a quick, 30-second break. We got the InvestView or the Apex bump or something. Okay.
Derek's on Skype.
We'll take a quick break. Derek is with Scott Lebedo over at City Hall, and they are unveiling his portrait
Wow.
of